Listening to this podcast may cause extreme happiness.
Hello and welcome back to the SPCC Distance Learning Cool Tool of the Week podcast. My name is Jason Thomas. Today we're moving on to episode 5, all about animations. This is the fourth and final installment in the month-long series about using video for education. So animations are just cartoons on a computer screen. They can be two-dimensional, three-dimensional, they can have sound, or they can be silent. Some ideas you could use for animations are you could demonstrate a dangerous or microscopic topic. You could recreate some event in history or have the students do that for one of their projects. You could develop digital skits, case studies, or interviews. Or, like I said before, you could use student projects for any of these to show that they understand a topic. So for animations, you can use a piece of software such as Alice, which is free, or Adobe Flash, which is paid. But today, we're going to use a web-based software called Extra Normal, because this is much easier for someone who's just beginning and doesn't have any coding knowledge. And like always, it's totally free software. So for animations, the reasons you would use them is that because it caters to the audio-visual learners, which is a majority of the people in your classes. You don't need to install software, it's totally free. It gives the students an opportunity to collaborate and be creative with the material when they're creating the animations. And it also, whether you create or they create it, it gives that sense of interactivity with the material, which is what a majority of students say is lacking when they do online courses. So without further ado, we're going to move on and show you the beginner's tutorial to Extra Normal animations. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is fire up your web browser and then go to the following website, www.xtranormal.com. Once you get there, it shows you a fun little starting screen. And to get started, what you'll want to do is make movies. From there, you'll get a bunch of different scenes you can choose from, which is pretty much your setting and what's going to be in it. You can have the crash test dummies, you can have some historical figures, robots, and underneath that you pick how many actors you want. That's how many people or whatever you have in there there'll be. So I want to do historical figures, 2 actors. Then it'll ask you to make an account, which you can do very quickly. You just click sign up, give them an email address, pick a username, pick a password, and then do these fun little CAPTCHA things too. Alright, once you have typed in once you got your username and password, you go back and you log in. Alright, from here you'll see this screen load up, and it gives you a pretty simple interface. What you got here is what you're going to put in the movie. Over here is a preview pane and a little instructions down below. So what you'll do is first you'll click a set, which is where you want your avatar to show up. Then you choose which actor you want. Do you want Einstein, Napoleon, Pocahontas, hopefully, maybe Sacagawea. I'm not sure, I'm sorry, history people. I'm going to call this one Buzz Lightyear, just because I like cartoons better than real life. And so once you've chosen your actor, you'll go to sounds, and this gives you what do you want as the background to be going on, maybe just some basic music in the background, or do you want a background beat? I'm just going to leave it as City Street 1, and then you go to the story, which is the main part of what you want to do. And this is where it becomes very cool. All you have to do is 2 things. If you want him to say something, you type it. You say, hello, my name is Albert. And if you want him to do something, you take one of these little icons from the side and you drag it in. You'll say, what do you want him to do? And you can go through all these different motions they have and pick one. So I'm going to have him, when he says that, say, I'm so tired, which is that little emotion right there. He goes, oh, and apply. So now, this button will tell you what it sounds like, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview. So, I'm going to actually preview my movie right here. So it's saving my script, which is just 1 line, so it shouldn't take too long. It's producing my movie, figuring out his actions. So now I click the play button.
Hello, my name is Albert.
And as you can see, he said the line I did. He did his action afterwards, which is where I told him to do it. And you could hear the city street in the background. You can take these motions and you can move them around as well, so he'll do it at different times. Say you want him to do it before he talks, or in the middle of talking. If you want to add more lines to his script, you just click the plus sign as many times as you want. If you want to delete a block, you click the X. And that's all there is to it. You type, you add in motions, he can make faces at you. He can do all these kinds of things, point at people, look at people. And that's pretty much it. When you're working, you can click save if you want to come back and work on it later, or you can click publish when you're done to give you a link you can distribute to others. That's it. That's as simple as it is to make a three-dimensional educational animation. You can do it, students can do it, anyone can do it. So, that's all. Thank you once again for listening. As you all probably know, my name is Jason Thomas. This has been the SPCC Cool Tools podcast. My contact information is as follows: jthomas@spcc.edu. Skype is Epic Thomas. My phone number is 704-290-5860, and my blog, where you can find this podcast along with all the others I create, is http://manywhelps.wordpress.com. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, there is no spoon.